You pull on a familiar pair of trousers. They still button, but not quite as easily as they used to. Maybe the scale has barely moved. Maybe you have tried walking more or eating more carefully, yet the change around your waist seems stubborn. Online, this is often explained as though one stress hormone were directing fat straight toward the middle. It is appealing because it is simple. Stress rises, cortisol rises, the waist follows. But the body rarely works in such a straight line. Stress may matter. Cortisol may be part of the response. But your waistband cannot tell you that one hormone is responsible. So why can abdominal fat become harder to change, and where do stress and cortisol actually fit? The first thing to understand is simple. A waistline is not a cortisol test. Waist circumference can provide information that the scale or body mass index may miss, but a larger waist cannot reveal your cortisol level, measure visceral fat precisely, or prove insulin resistance. A changing abdomen may not always mean a change in body fat. Bloating and visible distension can temporarily increase abdominal size for several digestive reasons. Body shape is an observation. It is not a diagnosis. So, if a waistline cannot prove anything about cortisol, why does cortisol keep getting blamed for it? To understand where cortisol fits, begin with what it normally does. Your body needs cortisol. Its level follows a daily rhythm. It begins rising during the final hours of sleep, peaks around waking, and generally falls toward night. Cortisol also helps make energy available during illness, physical effort, or another demand that requires the body to respond. Cortisol is one messenger within a larger stress response. The brain, nervous system, behavior, sleep, and environment are all involved. So cortisol is not simply a switch that stores fat. It is part of a coordinated system. Ordinary stress is also not the same as a cortisol disorder. In Cushing syndrome, cortisol exposure is abnormally high, and proper clinical testing is needed. For everyday stress, the more useful question is not, is cortisol bad? It is, what may repeated stress be changing around you, your sleep, appetite, energy, and daily routines? One pathway begins at night. When stress follows you into bed, sleep may become shorter or more fragmented. The following day, lower energy can make ordinary routines and movement harder to maintain. Stress may also shift appetite or cravings for some people. Others may eat less. Cortisol may participate, but it does not act alone. Emotion, habit, the nervous system, and the food available around you also matter. Short sleep has been associated with a slightly higher risk of central obesity in prospective research. But the relationship is modest, and it does not prove that short sleep directly caused fat to collect around the waist. None of this means stress automatically causes weight gain. A meta-analysis of longitudinal studies found that the average relationship between stress and increasing adiposity was positive, but very small. Stress may matter less as a direct command to store fat, and more because it can change the conditions surrounding sleep, eating, recovery, and daily movement. There is another reason simple hormone explanations fail. People respond differently. Two people can live through similar pressure and notice different changes in sleep, appetite, energy, and body composition. Age, sex, sleep health, existing medical conditions, and differences in how the body responds to cortisol may all shape that response. Some observational research has found that higher cortisol measured in hair is associated with greater body mass index and waist circumference. But association does not tell us which came first. The study cannot show whether greater cortisol exposure contributed to weight change, whether existing obesity and related health problems altered the stress system, or whether other factors influenced both. Hair cortisol is also a measure used in research to estimate longer-term cortisol exposure. It is not a personal score of how worried someone feels. Reviews of the wider evidence describe substantial variation in the stress-obesity relationship. Similar waistlines may therefore reflect very different biological patterns and different stories. By midlife, several other changes may be unfolding. With age, muscle mass and strength can gradually decline. Lower activity, pain, injury, fatigue, disability, or caregiving demands may add to the change without it being a simple failure of effort. the scale may stay nearly the same while the balance between muscle and fat changes. For many women, midlife and the menopausal transition are also associated with carrying a greater share of fat around the abdomen. Aging, falling estrogen levels, sleep, and other individual factors all contribute, so the pattern is not inevitable and progress is not impossible. Small, repeated changes in portions, drinks, snacks, or convenience foods can add up without feeling dramatic. Sleep apnea, chronic pain, and disrupted schedules can change sleep, energy, and daily activity. Medication changes may also affect appetite, fluid balance, energy, or weight, which is why timing matters. And an abdomen that changes noticeably during the day may reflect digestion or distension rather than a rapid change in body fat. Cortisol may be one part of this picture, but the picture is much larger than cortisol. So what is realistically worth doing? Start by noticing what changes first. For about a week, observe what tends to happen during more stressful periods. Does your sleep become more broken? Does your appetite shift? Does your energy fall? Does your normal routine become harder to maintain? This is observation, not diagnosis. Next, protect muscle and movement in ways that fit your health and mobility. A network meta-analysis of randomized trials found that several exercise approaches reduced visceral fat, the fat stored deeper in the abdomen in adults with overweight or obesity. That does not mean everyone needs intense workouts. Aerobic and strength-building activity can be adapted to fitness, pain, and physical limitations. Finally, reduce friction around the habits you want to keep. Make food choices easier before the most demanding part of the day, and protect a realistic opportunity for sleep. Use relaxation, breathing, or mindfulness because they may support well-being, sleep, or consistency, not because they have been shown to remove abdominal fat. A meta-analysis found that stress management interventions changed cortisol outcomes compared with control conditions, but a biomarker change is not the same as proven fat loss. Support the system. Do not chase one hormone. Sometimes, stress is not enough of an explanation. A rapid or persistent unexplained change in abdominal size deserves medical attention, especially when it behaves differently from gradual weight change or appears with other new symptoms. If a noticeable change began after a new medicine or dose change, discuss the timing with the prescriber rather than changing the medicine yourself. Belly fat alone cannot identify Cushing syndrome. Evaluation becomes more relevant when several unusual or progressive changes occur together, or when glucocorticoid treatment may be part of the history. A random cortisol blood test is not an appropriate screening test for Cushing syndrome. Do not reduce or stop prescribed corticosteroids on your own. Follow the prescriber's plan. None of this is meant to worry you. It is meant to widen the picture. So, where do stress and cortisol finally fit? Cortisol is a normal part of the body's response to demand. Repeated stress may influence sleep, appetite, energy, recovery, and daily movement. Over time, those conditions may make weight management harder for some people. But abdominal fat is also shaped by muscle, menopause, medication, sleep health, food environment, pain, activity, and individual biology. A waistline cannot reveal a hormone level. The goal is not to find one hormone to blame. It is to understand the conditions your body has been responding to repeatedly. During stressful periods, what changes first for you? Your sleep, appetite, energy, or daily routine? If calm, evidence-informed explanations help your body make more sense, you are welcome to subscribe. Our earlier video explores common cortisol-related patterns and the limits of what those patterns can tell you.